He's the man behind what's shaping up to be one of the biggest building industry failures. But Robert Harder needs more than God on his side. The company, run by this former Chippy turned Hillsong Church member, has left hundreds of families without a home. It's collapsed and Harder blames COVID and supply issues. Angry customers claim that's a cop-out.
Is there anything you'd like to say to your customers that you've left without a roof over their head?
Yeah, I'm very, very sorry.
Gutted doesn't even explain it. Yeah.
You're a senior member of Hillsong Church. This is hardly very Christian of you.
Robert Harder, man of God, and now behind one of the country's biggest building company collapses.
We might all be thinking, well, I'm never going to get that opportunity.
I mean, this is appalling behaviour.
Heartbreaking.
It is devastating.
They're the families on the verge of breaking point.
It's a huge amount. It's the savings that we've had.
Instead of living in their dream homes, this is all they have to show.
It's a nightmare.
We were kind of hoping for a small miracle of some kind.
They each handed over thousands of dollars to Privium Group. At the helm, Chief Executive Officer Robert Harder, a senior member of Hillsong Church, who started out as a carpenter before rising to the top.
One of the things that we support is Vision Rescue.
What's caused this collapse of Privium?
Have you heard of this? It's COVID. Supply prices have just really increased and it's just horrible.
There was no communication from them. We would call them 4 or 5 times without any response. I would send emails.
Raf and Annie Solomon bought this house south of Brisbane 8 years ago, eventually knocking it down to build a brand new 4-bedroom home.
Because we wanted this to be the home that we stayed in for our kids to grow up.
In January, they signed a contract, paid a $12,000 deposit and put their trust in the hands of Privium to turn their dream into reality. But almost a year on, nothing has been done.
And we were told by Privium, that everything was okay, that they were too big for anything bad to happen, that there was just delays. And we tried to believe that for as long as we could.
It's caused a lot of stress, heartache, confusion.
Lisa White Southcombe, her husband and 5 children were in desperate need of a bigger home near Newcastle. After looking for the perfect design, they thought they finally found it with Privium.
Would have been our dream home.
It didn't take long for problems to arise, starting with delays in the slab being laid. Now, that's all they have.
When the frame didn't turn up, we asked questions and then we were told, there's framing delays.
It is so unfair on these families. A lot of these people are without any insurance, so there is no safety net.
Kate Washington is the member for Port Stephens on the New South Wales Central Coast, where several families have been impacted.
The New South Wales Government and the New South Wales Building Commissioner have a role to protect consumers. So there are no protections in this scenario.
Communication was just never there. We weren't told of anything really and we had to chase everything up.
Nikki and Daniel Jacobson signed a contract with Privium in November last year, with construction meant to begin in January. The family of 5 was told they'd be able to move in within 9 months.
We currently have a concrete slab for our garage and we have our pairing for our stilts and we have roof trusses sitting on the ground and our flooring is also sitting on the ground. That's all we have.
Faced with delays, the Jacobsons say they trusted assurances from the company that their forever home would be built.
I ended up making a call to the builder and I had an email straight back saying, we're waiting for I-beams. They should be there next week.
A few months ago, Privium gave customers an update online explaining the construction industry is facing supply shortages, which is causing delays, but assured everyone who signed a contract their build was moving forward and would be completed as quickly as possible. It seems that wasn't the case, with Privium recently stopping work on all its building sites before announcing it had officially collapsed. Entering voluntary administration last week, the company's 2020 financial statement reporting a loss of more than $28 million. CEO Robert Harder has been lying low since news of the collapse broke. We tracked him down to get more answers for customers.
Don't you think that, being a Christian like yourself, that it would have been a good idea to keep the communication going between these customers?
And what do you really think the answer is for that?
I'm asking you.
Once all the details come out, it would be proven that rumours have killed our business. If we could have finished off all the work without rumours, we would have been able to pay everybody back.
So, Mr. Harder, just explain to me, is it delays, is it COVID, or is it rumours?
It's all three.
Which one came first?
COVID.
It's prompted concerns from industry leaders it's just the tip of the iceberg, with more construction companies likely to go under.
There's a lot of people hanging on for dear life in the hope that things improve and, before they go to the wall.
Paul Bidwell is from Master Builders Association Queensland.
But no one could have foreseen the ongoing impact that COVID's had on those supply chains and the fact that price rises just keep on coming.
You were letting people sign contracts until last month on builds. You must have known earlier than this that something was going wrong.
Most builders would know that this is what COVID's done with lockdowns, with everything. People are hurting all over the show. It's not just builders.
Some Queensland customers have been given hope, with construction company Torsion confirming it's taken over 166 builds. The Jacobsons and Solomons aren't among them.
But for us, this is our lives. And I want him to understand that you make a contract with somebody, you need to honour that.
It's not fair. Would you agree with me?
Definitely, it's very unfair.
I would like Mr. Harder to understand and look back and see the carnage and the devastation left behind by this.
It's so hard, isn't it? So stressful. And customers left high and dry are now hoping they'll be covered by insurance. Let's hope so.